The front section of the bodywork on the Elan has now been stripped, so let's have a look at what jobs have been thrown up and what I'm going to do about it before we go on to stripping the rest of the car. The paint has now been stripped off the front of the car with the exception of the inner part of the bonnet aperture. The part that you saw me actually stripping of paint is actually one of the worst areas in respect of the filler being put over badly prepared fiberglass. As you can see there, some of the fibres have pulled out or where the primer was. So that's all got to be prepared properly, and as I say, it needs to be done a lot better than the previous effort. While I was stripping this particular area, you can see there holes being filled in, and it's the same on the other side. Now I'm not sure what those would have been for. If someone can enlighten me, I'd appreciate that. To highlight some of the areas that will need particular attention, and there's this crack here that's been badly filled and we're showing through, and if you can look on the inside there where it's filled, the crack propagates down, so I'm going to have to uncover that. And similarly over on that side where the crack has been filled, again it's propagating down, so that's got to be properly dug out and repaired. What else can we find? These areas where it looks as though it's been reprofiled, that's very hard filler. As I say, there's numerous types of filler on this car, some soft and ones like this very hard, and the same on the wheel arch there. I'm going to have to consider what I actually do to that. Right, as we move around, I've highlighted some cracks in the gel coat and some bad repairs at the front of the car going right the way around. Another one there, you can see a bad one there, and again in that corner. This wheel arch is not particularly good, and I'm actually considering whether to buy a repair section for this. And as you can see there, down at the bottom, it's very bad fiberglass and it almost looks porous, and the same above that area of filler. And if you look inside the car, you can actually see that a repair section has been put in, as you can see, not very well, so that needs to be done. So I'm leaning towards at the moment getting a repair section. I think they're about £83, but it's going to be interesting fitting that. As you can see here, you can see a line there. That is obviously the original fiberglass, and below you can see all these swirl marks, and that, I believe, is someone being very heavy-handed with a grinding disc or a sanding disc. It's very badly profiled, and up there is a flat spot. I don't know what the hell they were playing at, but as you run your hand along, you can feel all the undulations, and that's why the primer was so, or the filler was so thick in this area, all the way along. So that's got to be properly repaired. It's not very easy to see, but I think you can see some drips of resin down there, and just about make out where a new glass fibre section has been bonded in or built up, and maybe at the top you can see where that light band is. I know it's not showing up very well, but you may be able to see it. Let's now have a look at the windscreen frame and the top of the scuttle. That's in relatively good condition, to be quite honest with you. There are a couple of little areas that I could point out. Just here, it looks like there's been a crack, and I think in that corner there. So that's got to be prepared. So in general, the windscreen frame surround and the profile there is quite good. I haven't removed any of the paint from around the windscreen frame because it's very fragile now that the glass has been taken out. And as you can see, probably at the top there, I don't know if it's pulled down. I thought the strut or the support was a bit tight, but it's got a fair bit of movement in it, so it's quite loose. So before I go ahead and prepare this part, this has got to come off. I did consider removing the crash pad. As I said in the previous video, this here is the only real damaged area, and I think I might be able to repair that, which is what I'm going to try first, because I don't want to remove this. As you can see here, the foam part of it feels as though it'll just break up if I do try to remove it, so that is the last resort. So I'm going to stick with this for the time being, see what I can do with it. The next stage of the strip down will be the doors and the sills, and here you can see, as with other parts on the body, there is quite a bit of build-up of filler, as you can see down there. It's quite thick there. I know that the sill on the near side has been quite heavily modified, so it'll be interesting to see what is below the paint and the filler on that one. So I'm leaving the doors in place to strip those, and I'm also leaving the lock mechanisms and the windscreen frame and the windows in at this stage, because I think if I do take the doors off, then it will be more difficult to strip down. And I've still got the door lock mechanisms in position, and also the electric motor for the windows. I will be taking these apart at some point in the near future, and I will be making a video of those and also replacing them, because as many of you know who have actually taken these out and refitted them, they're an absolute pig to do. For this episode, as I say, the doors will be next, together with the windscreen surround, so please stay tuned. I'll try and fit a few more mechanical components in, perhaps in the next episode, just to give a bit of variation. So please stay tuned, please subscribe and like, it all helps. So thanks for watching, I'll see you soon.